Okay, so let's just do a couple of goal-driven voicemails, right? Just so we know we're on the same page and you can hear them all the way through. Now, these are not all the talk tracks that we have and not all the appointment-driven talk tracks that you might use, but I just wanted you to get a sense of what a goal-driven voicemail sounds like. So this first one, this is for a B-back who we looked at their trade, and maybe that's the reason that they were a B-back, but we weren't sure. Perhaps they just didn't like the way the deal went. And so I'm going to call them, say this is day 3. So I'm going to call them and leave I get their voicemail. Hey, Bob, this is Steve Stauning calling with Century Toyota. You know, I was hoping we could get your Tundra back in here for another look. It seems that our buyer is struggling to get these at auction right now, and so I think he's ready to put more money on it. Anyway, would you please call me back at 555-1212? Once again, that's 555-1212. And don't worry, Bob, if you can't reach me right away. I'm going to try you again later. So thanks and talk to you soon. Bye-bye. That's our voicemail, right? We have one goal of a voicemail, and that's to drive a call back. And that's all that I did. I didn't go into what we wanted to pay for his vehicle. I didn't talk about the great deals that we have right now. I didn't try to sell anything. Now, if we do have great deals, and they're important to talk about on a future voicemail, or maybe the voicemail the day before we talked about that. But our goal is to create a little bit of excitement, create a little bit of interest, whatever, and then get them to call us back, and that's it. And so I highlighted my persistence, and again, I always leave a voicemail. So here's another goal-driven voicemail. This is one where, let's say that we're calling orphan owners who were recently in for service, because what we want to do is we want to get them on the phone so that we can offer them an appraisal of their vehicle. Now, we probably should be talking to these folks while they're in for service, but for whatever reason, we didn't catch this guy when he was in service, and now he popped up on our orphan owner call list to try to buy his vehicle back. So rather than talk to him about the fact that we want to buy his vehicle and all this other, he just paid a repair bill. He's probably not going to call us back. So our goal is of every voicemail is what? It's to drive a phone call. And so here's a way that I can get this guy to call me back. Hey, Bob, this is Steve Stauning calling with Century Toyota, and I know you were just in here for service, but I have some information about your Tundra that I need to share with you. Now, it's not an emergency, though. If you could, please call me back when it's convenient at 555-1212 and ask for Steve Stauning. I really would appreciate it. And hey, listen, again, my name is Steve Stauning, and I can be reached at 555-1212. And don't worry, Bob, if you can't reach me right away, because I'm going to try you again later. So thanks, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye. That's it. Again, we have one goal of the voicemails, and that's to drive a phone call back. Now, there are a lot of things that we didn't say on these calls, right? Think about these voicemails. Notice how I didn't give our store hours, right? And why wouldn't I give our store hours? Because I don't want him to just show up. I need to schedule an appointment. My goal of the voicemail is not to drive him to want to come into the dealership. My goal is to get a call back so that I can set the appointment. I didn't tell him my days off. I didn't say, hey, it's Steve Stauning, and oh, by the way, I'm off on Wednesdays. Because again, I'm trying to drive a phone call back. I don't want him just to pop on in. I didn't tell him the store's value proposition. More than anything, I just didn't tell him everything, right? I didn't give him all the information. I kept the voicemail under 15 seconds. I kept to my goal, which was to drive a phone call. I highlighted my persistence. That's all that I did. And the final thing is I didn't say, be sure and ask for me, right? Because I don't want him to be sure and ask for me. I'm not a typical salesperson. My goal is to drive a phone call. Once I get him on the phone, I have one goal, and that is an appointment that shows.